Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Reporter's Notebook. For those of you who have not watched Reporter's Notebook before, it's where we get a chance to sit down with our reporters towards the end of their workday and chat to them a little bit about the daily life of a reporter here at WNCT and go a little bit behind the scenes on some of the stories that they've covered. So today is a little different. We have a new face for you guys. We are welcomed by Victoria Holmes. Hey, Victoria.
Hello.
Victoria is one of our newest reporters. She is a digital reporter like myself, like Kelsey O'Donnell, like Kayla Schmidt. So she's going to be in here a lot here in the digital studio. You guys will get used to seeing her face in here, doing updates, that sort of thing. So we're here to introduce her to you guys today. So Victoria, talk to us a little bit about where you came from, what school you went to, what is your background?
So originally I'm from Dallas, Texas, and then I got kind of tired of the heat and I wanted to head somewhere where it was basically kind of like paradise. So I headed to the West Coast, to America's finest city. I went to school at the University of San Diego in San Diego, California. And you know, that was difficult, the adjustment moving from the South to the West Coast, but I got used to it and the beach helped.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Awesome. So what did you study in school?
I studied communication studies. So not necessarily journalism, although I did take the journalism track, but my focus was more on media and media consumption and kind of looking more into the in-depth analysis of how consumers are now viewing media and how that's been changing over the course of the past 50 years, especially with online digital formats such as getting texts, getting emails, subscribing to certain newspapers online, digitally, just kind of understanding the transformation from a print form to a more digital format.
Wow, that is really cool. And that's actually super interesting because we haven't gotten a chance to chat a lot yet, but I was a political science major and a communication minor, and I actually did a majority of my thesis projects and my papers on the transition in media as well. So kind of how it was digitally changing, how it was going to affect reporters in the future, if we were even going to have reporters in the future, the way that social media was changing. So that's really cool to know that you studied and looked into that as well. That's really awesome. So talk to me about how, what made you choose or decide that you were like, you know what, I want to be a reporter. I want to take this in the direction of broadcast news.
So originally, I actually was looking to be an attorney. And in fact, when I was in high school, I went to high school in Texas. I went to a school called Bishop Lynch High School, and I was a part of the mock trial team. And I was really, really involved with the mock trial team. I played an attorney, I played a witness, defense, plaintiff, prosecution. We went to New York a couple times to do some of the mock trial litigation. Yeah, and so I was, gung-ho on being an attorney. And then I joined a broadcast team in high school. Thought that was kind of fun. And then when I went to University of San Diego, I originally went for the law school. But then I remembered kind of being involved in the broadcast team in high school, and then ended up being involved into WNCT-TV, which is the station's news, which is the university's news station, and I just fell in love with it. And when I was a freshman in 2016, it was an election year. So I actually got caught covering the elections, and I just fell in love with that. And I love the kind of hustle and bustle of going out and getting to know people and, really being with the community that you're a part of and getting to know a whole bunch of people who are involved in the community, and especially the community leaders. That's when I really understood the importance of this particular role as a reporter, is that we are the ones holding community leaders accountable. So I just fell in love with that idea.
That's so awesome. That is one of the best parts, in my opinion. I think a lot of reporters here is getting to interact with the community and really get to know people and their stories and, the good things that are happening around us. So that's really awesome. Talk to us about, what are some of your hobbies when you're not doing reporting? I know this is your first week. Victoria started on Monday. Poor girl, you started right when the hurricane came, right in the middle of Isaias. So talk to us about what are some of your hobbies outside of reporting?
Outside of reporting, I really enjoy going to the beach. I went to school in San Diego, so I'm a beach gal. One of the reasons why I went there is because I loved surfing and kind of just swimming and doing all those sorts of things. Paddleboarding, of course, sunbathing, running by the beach. So that's definitely one of my biggest hobbies. I'm not good at surfing. I'm just saying that I've tried it. I've enjoyed it. I like beach activities.
Dabbled in it.
Let me just put that out there. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I also like coloring books just to kind of relax my mind.
Yes.
I just bought a coloring book called Existentialism or Existential Crisis, something like that. And it has like flowers and everything. But then it says things like doom and gloom. And I was like, it's kind of interesting, especially in the time that we're in. I also like to bake. But I like to look at different recipes, so like recipes for a brownie, but try to create a healthy version of it.
Okay, cool.
Using like natural ingredients instead of using like wheat flour, I would use almond flour. I kind of follow those like paleo or keto diets or experiment with them. So that's something that I find that also at the end of the day, if I just need something to kind of put me in like a zen mood,
definitely,
I'll just look up a recipe and try to tweak it.
That's super awesome. And you definitely need things like that. Like you said, the coloring books. I do that as well. It is a great stress reliever kind of at the end of your day to just go in there and just do something physically that doesn't require a lot of mental thought. It's very relaxing, and you definitely need hobbies like that in an industry like this where you just need to go home and decompress after all the stuff from the day. So that's awesome. And I will say my mom does the same thing with cooking and baking, except she tried a avocado brownie, like made avocado brownies one time, and I'm gonna tell you, please don't ever do that because it was so gross. It was so bad.
I was like, that's like one recommendation. I don't know how it sound like or taste like.
It was not. She was very excited about it, so of course we were all nice about it, but don't do that. Don't try that. Recipe is not good.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for sure.
But so the last question I'm going to have for you, so this video doesn't get too long for you guys, is how was it coming in? Like I said, you came in Monday at the start of ESIS, the coverage that we were doing for that. So what was your experience coming in the middle of a hurricane season, our very first hurricane, and kind of what did you do throughout the week, and what have you been working on throughout the week of training, amongst this storm?
So Monday I started, and Monday was when the storm prep was kind of happening. And I think, honestly, it was probably the best day to start because I got to see the best side of everyone and how everyone kind of works together, literally the whole team, because I believe everyone was on call. So I think that was a good start to get my foot in the door and to kind of understand how this news station works and to get to know people, because since everyone was on call, I got to see everyone's face, at least in passing. I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed learning how this particular newsroom responds to a hurricane and how newsrooms communicate to a more national, they kind of communicate with other news stations so that a more national kind of idea of what the storm looks like. And the way that the reporters here were able to handle that and go live not only at this station but at different stations, I thought that was incredible. I'm incredibly impressed. I am super nervous for when I have to do that, so I'm gonna need some pointers from people like Kelsey, of course. And I shadowed her today. So that was like day one, storm prep. Day two was kind of like the recovery and the aftermath of ESIS. And I believe I said that right.
Yep.
And then today I got to actually shadow a reporter, and I believe I'm doing an online original, so that's gonna be posted later today, about blood drive, blood donations, and how the American Red Cross is actually asking for people who have recovered from COVID to stop by, donate blood, donate plasma, so that they could possibly be used as antibodies. So I thought that was a really cool story to get my start on.
That is awesome. And congratulations for starting your first story today. That's super exciting. And like Victoria said, she's going to be doing an online original for tonight. So she will continue to do those. She is one of our new digital reporters, like I said, like myself and like Kelsey and Kayla. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of her here in the digital studio on our website, WNCT.com, in our online originals section. And Victoria, we're very happy to have you. And thank you so much for joining me. You guys are going to be seeing a lot more of this girl. So thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your evening.